Welcome back. As always, please leave a comment down there if you have anything to add to this video or any future video you want me to make, or just any comments about the channel in general, because I'm always looking for improvement and your comments help a ton. Also, be sure to check out my other channel, YC Games. It's the one with the orange logo. And without further ado, let's get right into this. So, if you guys are following Borderlands news, which I'm sure you are, there is a lot of leaks and rumors going around right now, and that's all really exciting. But if you know my channel, I don't like talking about that stuff, but I do really like to think and just theorize about what we're going to get. And so, the biggest rumor right now is that we're going to be going to different planets. That's basically confirmed, but nothing is actually confirmed until Gearbox comes out and says it. So it's still considered a rumor in my eyes. But most likely we will be heading to different planets, and I am really excited for that. But it got me thinking and actually a little upset, because who's going to be coming with us? It makes sense like that the past Vault Hunters will go with us, because if we're going to hunt more vaults, then yeah, it makes more sense that we're going to have the other Vault Hunters. But unless Sanctuary itself turns into a rocket ship to go to a different planet, why would all those characters follow us? So that's what I'm going to be talking about in this video, who I think is going to join us in our adventures in Borderlands 3, and kind of the reasons for being there. So let's just get right into it. Let's start with the most obvious. Now, Tannis may not seem the most obvious, but if you follow Borderlands 3 news, which I'm sure you do, the only actual concrete information we have from Gearbox themselves are the Battleborn Easter eggs, and one of those Easter eggs mentioned Tannis specifically. Now, if you remember the quote, it was something along the lines of Tannis is not who she seems. So, what this actually means is still up to speculation. I did do a previous video, I mentioned it before, how I kind of think she's not really crazy, and that's how she's not who she seems. People are thinking, well, maybe she's the villain. People are thinking maybe she's a siren. We don't know. But the fact that we have very little actual concrete information on this game from Gearbox, and that she is mentioned, means that she's going to play a big part. So obviously she is going to be involved in the game somehow, in some way or another. I doubt she's the villain, especially if the other rumors we got about the other villains, which again I'm not really going to mention about because I don't like talking about that, she's going to be involved. So that's just no brainer. That's just the obvious one out of the way. Let's move on. Like I said earlier, if we're going off planet, especially to hunt vaults in particular, it only makes sense that the returning Vault Hunters would return with us, the ones still alive, obviously. The real question is who would be in charge, the Borderlands 1 Vault Hunters or Borderlands 2 Vault Hunters. Now in Borderlands 2, the Borderlands 1 Vault Hunters really seem to be in charge, being the main quest givers, being the driving forces behind the story. And us, the players, the Borderlands 2 Vault Hunters, were more just doing what they said. So it really more is a question of who's in charge. And the real question about who's actually going to be returning would be going into the DLC. Most likely, we're going to see the return of like Zero, Axton, Maya, Salvador, oh man, I had a brain fart there, Lilith, Mordecai, and Brick. They're all most likely going to be returning. And even Roland, like in memory or whatever. I hope they do like mention him, because I do like Roland as a character. The real question is though, DLC characters. Would Krieg and Gage return? Now, Gage, no problem. She's a say enough character, and a lot of people seem to like her. I'm not really a huge fan, but I mean, I have nothing against her either, so if she's involved, I have no problem with that. The issues with Krieg. Now, I really like Krieg. I think he's an interesting character. I think him struggling, with his sanity is really cool on a story on its own. But having that mesh with giving quests and still being part of this big Vault Hunter group, it'd be weird to not be in his shoes. It'd be weird, like, taking orders from this guy, So, it's iffy, and him being a DLC character, it's, even questionable if they're even considering putting him in there. So that's really going to be an issue. I'm really curious what you guys think. Do you think they could involve him in there? Do you think he should be with us? Let me know. I really enjoyed Tales from the Borderlands. If you guys have not played it yet, I highly recommend you guys go out and play it like immediately, because it's a great game. There are some light spoilers ahead, so just be aware. I'm not going to get too much into like the specifics, but just know there are some things that happen that impact the Borderlands story as a whole. There's not a lot though, and that's why I think it's hard to believe that the Tales from the Borderlands characters will be in Borderlands 3, because there really wasn't much of an impact. Now, the most impactful thing that I feel like maybe it could is because they were involved with Athena and how the pre-sequel ended. It could, maybe Athena could be like, hey, I know some guys, and then boom, Tales from the Borderlands characters coming over. Or maybe how the ending of Tales from the Borderlands, again, light spoiler, a vault is opened. I don't know how much of an actual light spoiler that is. I guess that could be a huge spoiler. I don't know. I think it's kind of obvious it's a Borderlands game. A vault's going to open. So I guess that being triggered could catch the eye of the vault hunters, like, hey, what's going on over here? Why is a vault opening? And then they all meet up, whatever, and then boom, Borderlands 3 commences. It's possible. I doubt it. I think the most, like, the character that most likely would transfer over would be Gortys. And I would love that. I love Gortys as a character. Don't get me wrong. I like all the characters. Well, most all the characters. I think they're all strong characters. And I did enjoy my time in that game, mostly because of the characters. But Gortys is something else. Like, Gortys could replace Claptrap. I don't even care. I love Gortys. And it makes the most sense, especially if the rumor that Alice Tech is coming back, you know, and specifically if we are hunting vaults, then we're going to need Gortys, because that's what whatever you want to call it, what it was made to do, is hunt vaults. So it only makes sense that he, she, whatever, would be involved. And that would be great. But like I said, highly unlikely. Unless they really, really wanted them involved, they could stretch it. I guess it wouldn't be much of a stretch. But they could just completely ignore those characters, and I don't think anyone would even notice. So this is really the category I kind of made this video for, because like I said at the start of the video, unless they actually turn Sanctuary into a ship that's capable of space travel, which I really wouldn't put it past them. I mean, it is already a flying ship. Just pump Lilith and Maya full of iridium and let's take this baby into space, you know. But unless they do that, it's hard to justify every character going, you know, leaving Pandora, going on this adventure, whatever we're doing in Borderlands 3. And that sucks, because most, if not all of these characters, you know, fans love them. Everyone has their own favorite character, and it just sucks to have a game without that character in particular. So it's tough, but at the same time, there's no reason for them to leave Pandora unless Sanctuary itself leaves Pandora. You know, like Moxie, Marcus, Crazy Earl, Dr. Zed, they all have businesses on Pandora, specifically in Sanctuary, but also across Pandora. Why would they leave that, you know, to pursue adventure, whatever's going on in Borderlands 3? Whatever the plot of Borderlands 3 is, it'd be hard to justify these characters leaving their businesses for it. Now, that was one of the big things that upset me about the pre-sequel. Now, if you watch my videos, you know there's a lot of things about the pre-sequel that upset me. But one of the things that really upset me was why Moxie was there. Now, it's been a while since I played the pre-sequel. I don't remember everything about it. But I do remember there just really not being a reason for her being on Elpis. I'm sure they had some kind of comment like, yeah, I had to leave Pandora for whatever BS reason. That's why I set up shop here. And in reality, no. They wanted her in the game, so they shoehorned some reason in why she'd be in the game. And that's fine, whatever. It's essentially a spin-off game, if anything else, so whatever. You can shoehorn in whatever reasons you want. But for Borderlands 3, I want there to be an actual reason. Like, does that make sense? I don't want us to, like, be like, hey, we're heading to Promethea for this vault. And then Marcus is like, yeah, I have a shop there. Let me go check it out. I gotta go check in on stuff. Or Dr. Zed's just like, sure, I'll come along. Why not? I could use some adventure right now. You know, I don't want some half-assed reason. I want these characters involved because I like these characters. I love their personalities. I love their humor. They each have their own thing that they bring to the table, and I do like them being there. But they have to have a good reason to. If they don't have a good reason to, it just ruins the characters.
I can't feel my face.
Now, once again, if you haven't played Tales from the Borderlands, I recommend you go on and play it. And if you haven't seen it yet, or haven't played it yet, log off this video, because there's a huge spoiler ahead for that. I'm sure you heard it by now, because it's kind of a big impact on the Borderlands story. But Scooter dies in that game, and that sucks because I'm not even exaggerating. Scooter was my favorite NPC of Borderlands 2. I'm from more of a country, small town village really is what it's called, surrounded by fields, and I love that kind of hick humor to it. I love it. I think it's hilarious. Is it a stereotype? Yes. Is it true? Not from where I'm from. Do I sound like that? I don't know. I might. I don't hear it if I do. But I love that redneck humor. I think it's hilarious. And I really liked him. I liked him as a character. I thought he was awesome. So it really does suck that he's dead. But I want him to stay dead because, yes, they said that they will ignore anything that happens in Tales from the Borderlands if it affects what they want to say or how the story they want to tell. But that's a bit of a big thing to just kind of sweep under the rug, say, yeah, that didn't really happen. And if they did cancel out his death, it would just ruin death for the franchise. If like, oh, you can just kind of ignore death, then what's the point? I'm not even going to get into the new U stations, the respawn stations from the games. But you understand what I mean. If they had an actual plot-related death, just kind of swept under the rug, then it would ruin a lot of tension for any future game. Now, there is the rumor going around about there's a location called Scooter and Ellie's Garage. This could mean a lot of things. That the most obvious, I think, is just that it was their first garage that they owned together, and they just called it Scooter and Ellie's, and maybe it's like abandoned or whatever, and that's just why it's called that. But they were in business together from the start, and that just happens to be what they called the garage. I don't know why people are linking that to Scooter still being alive and owning a garage. I don't know. But, yeah, I think he's dead. I think he's going to stay dead, and I don't think we're going to see him in Borderlands 3. Which, unfortunate, but that's how she goes. Now, like I've said in many, many, many videos before this, I do not want them to bring back Handsome Jack. I love him as a villain. I honestly think he was the best villain we've had in a video game probably ever. And that should be the end of it. He is dead. Just like Scooter. If they bring him back, it will just ruin all death in any game. I don't want him back as a hologram. I don't want him back as a body double. I don't want him back as a zombie. No, he's dead. Moving on. That about does it for this one, guys. If you have any comments about anything said in this video, what characters do you want to come back, what reasons would they have to come back, let me know down in the comments. That's how I make these videos. Just, I want your guys' opinion, so let me know. If you have any theories or other videos you want me to make, please let me know and I'll be sure to make them. Because I'll be honest, I'm probably going to take a break from Borderlands videos just because of the fact that I'm getting way too excited for this game because there's a lot of news going around right now. Well, I say news, but really they're just leaks and rumors and stuff, and take all that with a grain of salt. But there's just a lot of talk going on, with the Hunt 2019 going on, what with possible Borderlands 1 remaster, Borderlands 2 DLC, Borderlands 3 in general. Just it's a lot to get excited over, and me making videos only excites myself up more. So I'm going to take a break from doing that probably for a while, unless you guys have a theory if you guys have a video you want me to make, then I'll definitely make that. But yeah, if not, I'm probably going to take a little bit of a break and start making other kinds of videos. But yeah, let's just leave it there. Please, as always, if you have any comments about the channel in general, let me know. I'm always looking for improvement, and those comments help out a ton. And yeah, see y'all in the next one. Keep your stick on the ice. We're all in this together.